It is Sports Highlight, the very last for the week, the very first for the month of May. Well, happy new month to everyone actually watching me this morning, and happy Workers' Day to all the workers out there. Well, I am Ijoma Victor. Now, a lot we'll be looking at this morning, especially the games from yesterday, looking at the Europa League. Two English teams, definitely one will be in the finals. Talking about the Europa Cup, and also for the Conference League, we are also expecting that one English team, Crystal Palace, will be in the finals. And for the Champions League, we also have one team there, that is Arsenal, but one more hurdle to cross, and that is Atletico de Madrid, and that will also go down at the Emirates Stadium in the next 6 days. So a lot we'll be looking at, like I said this morning, also looking at the team of the week for the UEFA Champions League. Then we'll also have other top stories in our front burner also this morning. Now we begin with the President Federation's Cup, where the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, has officially confirmed the fixtures for the playoffs round of this year's President Federation's Cup, marking the start of the national competition following the conclusion of the state FA Cup competition across the country. Now, where winners and runners-up emerge, the tournament will commence with playoffs matches scheduled for Wednesday, May 6th at various centers nationwide. Now, in a statement signed by Roots David, the NFF Director of Competitions, both the men and the women's categories will kick off simultaneously across designated centers. Now, in one of the headline fixtures, Lagos-based G12 FC will face Osun State champions and Dakola Kairu FC at the MKO Abiola Arena in Abeokuta. Elsewhere, Ondo champions Sunshine Stars under 19 are set to take on Ekiti Harmony FC in Osogbo. Other fixtures in the men's category include Westgate FC of Edo against Amanda FC of Anambra in Enugu, while Zamfara United Feeders will clash with Kanta Warriors of Kebbi, and that will go down in Sokoto. Adamawa Academy are scheduled to face El Kanemi Juniors from Maiduguri, and that game will go down in Bauchi. And Sporting Supreme under 19 of Abuja will travel to Lafia for a tie against Renas FC of Kogi State. Now, in the women's competition, several intriguing matchups have also been confirmed. NAF Queens FC of the Federal Capital Territory will take on Model Queens FC of Kwara, while Kada Queens FC will face Kaduna Plateau's Mighty Jet Mata FC. Now, Bayelsa Princesses FC are drawn against Ikukwoma Queens FC of Imo, and Zoha Queens FC of Enugu will meet Effington FC of Ebonyi. Now, the playoffs round serves as gateway to the main draw of the Nigeria's oldest domestic competition in the land, as teams across the country vie for a place in the next stage. I will head straight to the Europa League played yesterday, where Nottingham Forest on Thursday defeated Aston Villa 1-0 in the Europa League semi-final first leg encounter. Now, Chris Woods, a second, probably scored the game only goal in second half via a penalty at City Ground. Now, Nottingham will now face Aston Villa in the return leg next week at the Villa Park. Also in the other Europa League game, Braga defeated Freiburg by 2-1 in the other Europa League semi-final first leg tie played on Thursday night. Now, goals from Damir Iga Tagnaz and Mario Dongeles gave the host the victory against Freiburg at the Braga Municipal Stadium. Now, Freiburg will now take on Braga in the return leg at the Europa Park Stadion next Thursday. Meanwhile, let's take the interview reactions from the players and also both coaches. That's Nottingham Forest and Aston Villa coach Unai Emery.
Chris, it's only the halfway point, but so far so good.
Look, yeah, as you say, it's one leg of a two-tie. It's nice to have the advantage, but We know going to Villa Park is going to be a tough game. They're good at their place. But we've done the job here at home, and now hopefully we can build it to next week.
It was tough to separate you both tonight, and ultimately it came from nowhere, did the penalty. Is that just an example of when it is so tough, you have to just make sure that ball is out, you have to just make sure you finish every detail perfectly?
Look, yeah, it's cup competitions. They come down to small margins and small moments and times. The teams couldn't be split, I agree. I think both teams played very well, but it's small moments that can potentially change games, and thankfully it went in our favour tonight, and hopefully again next week.
I feel like you were the calmest man in here when that ball went on the penalty spot.
Look, I try to be. That's what I have to do, and that's what I try and do. That's the job, the responsibility my team gives me, and we go from there.
Look, you know, you were derailed this season by injury a little bit, but just how much does it mean to you that you are back at this crucial point, influencing play now?
Look, yeah, that's all I want to do. I wanted to get back fit, firing, and help the team as best I can at the end of the season. I knew we had a lot to play for when I was fighting to get fit, and it's showing in some big competitions to be a part of.
Look, how are you feeling now between the balance of going back to the Premier League and then you've got the second leg next week?
Look, yeah, that's what we're about. We're at the crunch end of the season. We need to perform on both parts, and we'll be looking to do that for sure.
There is something like the good aura is hovering over you, and you're a good person, in my opinion.
I'm aligned with God. Huh? I pray every day. But it's about the boys. It's about the you know, we have a special group because they have strong character, they have quality, they have personality, they are fighters. Because you know, to face a season with 4 managers and to be in the end of a season and competing in this level, competing for Europe League and competing in the relegation battle. With this energy, with this belief, it's not easy. It's not easy. They must be very, very good persons and with strong character. And it's a privilege to manage this group.
Unai, there have been close games between the two clubs as of late, and it looks another close one out there tonight. How do you assess it?
Good evening. I expected it. Before the match, a lot of things happened in 90 minutes. I expected it. Of course, we could score, we could concede, and we could draw. At the end, we have lost, but we did the match we planned, and we had our chances to score, and we had as well our momentum. We were as well stopping them on the press, the high press, and the match was going in everything we planned. And of course, we defend well, we defend low as well some crosses, and the penalty was one action as well they can get like they did, and we lost, but
Specialist Unai Emery was on the losing side yesterday for his team Aston Villa. Also yesterday's game, let's tell you that Ola Aina was in action also for Nottingham Forest. Yes, they won yesterday, all thanks to Chris Wood penalty. Yes, Olaina was substituted in the 75th minute by Habot because of an injury. Hope that injury will not keep him away from the Unity Cup that we go down in the month, yes, this month of May on the 26th. So we keep tab with that one. Let's also tell you that another English team, but this time in the Conference League, defeated their opponent, Shakhtar Donetsk, 3-1. Yes, that one in favor of Crystal Palace. Now, all thanks to Sam, just 1 minute into the game, he opened scoring, putting his name on the score sheet. Then in the 58th minute, it was Kamada who made it 2-1. But meanwhile, earlier, Ocheritsko had already equalized for Shakhtar Donetsk. And in the 84th minute, now it is the turn for Kamada to give an assist, and Lawson scoring the goal for Crystal Palace, making it 3-1. That is away from the Selhurst Park, the home ground of Crystal Palace. So returning home 7 days from now, it does look as if Crystal Palace is in the finals of the Conference League. So let's see if Nottingham Forest can do same, or Aston Villa representing the Premier League, or will it be Arsenal also representing the Premier League? So if we have 3 English team in the finals of both the UEFA Champions League, the Europa League, and the Conference League. And let's see how it pans out. Now, talking about the UEFA Champions League, let's tell you that the names of 4 Paris Saint-Germain players and 2 players each from Arsenal and Bayern Munich in the Champions League Team of the Week. Yes, that was released just yesterday after the conclusion of the first leg of the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League. Yes, it was UEFA bringing out the team of the week. Now, let's say that this follows the conclusion of this week's Champions League semi-finals first leg fixtures played on Tuesday and also on Wednesday, respectively. Now, recall that Paris Saint-Germain won 5-4 against Bayern Munich at Parc des Princes in France, while Atletico de Madrid drew 1-1 with Arsenal at the Riyadh Metropolitano on Wednesday in Spain. Now, however, in a post via its website, UEFA included the likes of Vitinha, Yao, Neves, Kvaratskhelia, and other players in the Champions League team of the week. Now, looking at the UEFA Champions team of the week, and let's give you a list of them. Now, let's tell you that in the attack, it will be Anthony Griezmann. Yes, Anthony Griezmann will lead the attack for Atletico de Madrid. Ousmane Dembele also is there in the attack. David Raya for Arsenal. Dalot Upamecano for Bayern Munich. Marco Pablo for Atletico Madrid. Let's also tell you that Gabriel for Arsenal, Bayern Munich, Michael Olise, Vitinha of PSG, just like you're seeing on the screen. Now, here is the attack lineup. 3 of them, 2 from, one from Bayern, with the other one for Atletico Madrid, that's Griezmann. Then in the other side there, you have Dembele. So we have them a whole lot. Then, like I said earlier, it is Kvaratskhelia for PSG. Then we have Anthony Griezmann also from Atletico de Madrid. Ousmane Dembele is also part of that squad, and Luis Diaz. So UEFA Team of the Week comprising of teams from Arsenal, Bayern Munich, Atletico de Madrid, and okay, this is a goalkeeper. That's David Raya. Yes, there for the defense. Yes, you have the defense lineup. You can see all of them there. Then we also have the midfield. Yes, that's the midfield for the Team of the Week. Then we also have the attacker. Big congratulations as we expect the second leg to also go down next week. Okay, away from that, we head straight to the home of Fulham, where Fulham midfielder Alex Iwobi has been ruled out of Nigeria's upcoming international friendly against Poland and Portugal due to injury. Now, the 28-year-old suffered a hamstring problem that is expected to keep him sidelined for the remainder of the season. Now, casting doubt over his availability for the Super Eagles fixtures scheduled for the month of June. Now, head coach Eric Sekoshel is understood to be aware of the situation and has begun considering alternatives. Now, one of the options is Derby County midfielder David Ozo, yes, who is currently awaiting international clearance to represent Nigeria. Now, Ozo, on loan from Crystal Palace FC to Derby County FC, has impressed this season. You know, probably making 32 appearances and scoring twice. His performance have reportedly put him in contention for a call-up once the necessary documentation is approved by FIFA. And let's also tell you that sources close to the coaching crew indicate that Ozo could be drafted directly into the squad for the friendly against Poland and Portugal once clearance is secured. Now, while Iwobi has been advised to focus on recovery, Nigeria will face, use the high-profile friendly to fine-tune preparations ahead of upcoming competitive fixtures, with the technical crew expected to assess new and existing players, both from abroad and here in Nigeria. Now, talking about the friendly games that we go down this month, the Unity Cup, let's tell you that organizers of the 2026 Unity Cup have opened ticket sales for the semi-final showdown between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Warriors of Zimbabwe. Now, the Super Eagles will take on the Warriors of Zimbabwe in the first semi-finals at the Valley home ground of Charlton Athletic on Tuesday, 26th of May. Now, fans can purchase tickets online through ticket.unitycup.com. Last year's finalist Jamaica will face India in the second semi-finals, also at the Villa on Wednesday, 27th of May. Now, the third place playoffs and the final will hold at the same Valley on Saturday, 30th of May. The Super Eagles are the defending champions of the Invitational Friendly Tournament. Eric Chell's side edged the Reggae Boys of Jamaica 5-4 on penalties last year's final after both teams played out a 2-all draw in regulation time. We head straight into ladies football, where Nasarawa Amazons and Abia Angels have qualified for Nigeria's Women's Football League Super 6 playoff tournament. Now, Nasarawa Amazons defeated Sunshine Queens 2-1 at the Lafayette City Stadium to book their ticket. Now, Abia Angels sealed qualification after holding Dana's Ladies to a goalless draw. Nasarawa Amazons have 32 points, while Abia Warriors have gathered 28 points from 17 matches in Group B, with one regular season game left to play. Now, Nasarawa Amazon will face FC Robo Queens in their final regular season match, while Abia Angels will play Ahudieniem Queens. FC Robo Queens have also qualified for the Super 6 from Group B. Now, Remo Stars Lady could not make it. Yes, they missed out on qualifications after a 3-0 defeat to Delta Queens. Now, still with the ladies, Malawi head coach Maggie Chombo has named 20 players in his in her final squad for the 2026 FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup qualifying game against Nigeria's Under-20 team, the Falconet. Now, Chombo included 3 goalkeepers, 5 defenders, 8 midfielders, and 4 strikers in the squad. Now, the young Socials will face Nigeria in the first leg on Saturday. Malawi will host the reverse fixtures at the Bingu National Stadium on Saturday, the 9th of May. Now, the winners of the 2-legged fixtures will earn a berth at Poland 2026. Now, 4 countries will represent Africa at the biennial competition. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Football Federation (NFF) has confirmed that the 2026 FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup first leg qualifiers between the Falconets and Malawi on Saturday will take place inside the Remo Stars Stadium in Ikene, Ogun State. Earlier on Thursday, there were unconfirmed reports that the first leg clash will be moved to the MKO Abiola Stadium in Abeokuta. NFF Director of Competition Demola Olajire said there is the possibility that the game could be moved. Now, according to Olajire, the possibility of the game taking place in Abeokuta was very high. He, however, later confirmed that the games will actually hold in Ikene. Meanwhile, let's also tell you that Malawi had their second training session yesterday in Ikene ahead of their weekend's clash with the Falconet. So wish the team good luck, and we'll keep tab with what's happening over in Ikene. So we wrap up the show this morning with football politics, where FIFA President Gianni Infantino has reiterated his conviction that Iran will participate in the World Cup this summer, despite Federation's absence from the Congress in Vancouver. Now, 3-member delegation from the Iranian Football Federation arrived in Toronto on Tuesday. However, 1 member was denied entry into Canada, while the other 2 chose not to attend the Congress in what appeared to be a protest. Now, earlier this week, Iranian media reported that IFF President Mahdi Taj was refused entry at Toronto's Pearson Airport, despite having received authorization to travel. Now, FIFA sources, characterize the situation as a regrettable circumstances, but emphasize that Iran has been invited to the Congress and that the decision regarding entry was in the hands of Canadian authorities. Now, during the roll call of 210 FIFA members present, General Secretary Matthias Graffitom did not address Iran's absence. Iran's involvement has been uncertain since the US and Iraq initiated a strike on the Islamic Republic in the month of February. However, Infantino affirmed that they will complete fixtures against New Zealand. Yes, complete fixtures against New Zealand, Belgium, and Egypt. Iran is set to commence their World Cup journey against New Zealand in Los Angeles on June 15, should both they and the United States secure a second place in their respective group. The team will face each other in the last 32, having previously met during the group stages of the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. Additionally, Iran will compete in Seattle. Despite Infantino's optimism, there are lingering concerns regarding potential immigration issues for Iran this summer. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio stated last week that while Iran's players will be welcomed, some individuals from their federation may encounter challenges. In another part of his address, Infantino, defended FIFA's contentious ticket sales strategy amidst widespread dissatisfaction regarding pricing, noting that they have received 500 million ticket requests, with 90% already sold out, while some tickets are reserved for future sales. Now, Infantino further revealed that FIFA anticipated revenues for the 2023-26 cycle, culminating with their Summer World Cup, have risen to $14 billion, equivalent to 10.3 billion euros, marking a 20% increase from previous cycle. And this is where we say thank you this morning as we wrap up Rapid Sports highlight on the breakfast show Rapid Dawn. I still remain Ijoma Victor. Do you have yourself a beautiful day ahead?